Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Pankaj. I deal in various financial products and also I am a financial investing advisor. As an investor, if you are looking for diversified exposure to the rapidly growing robotics and artificial intelligence industries and would like to capture the potential for significant growth and innovation in these transformative sectors, then this video is for you to watch. Today I will be discussing one robotics and artificial intelligence ETF that is steered for huge growth. So watch this video until the end. Let's get started. Thank you again for joining me today. As always, everything shared in this video is for informational purposes only. But if you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button below, that would be a huge contribution in the growth of this channel going forward. The ETF which I am going to talk about today is known as Global Robotics and Artificial Intelligence ETF. Its ticker symbol is BOTZ. It is started in 2016. It's not quite old. It's almost 8 to 9 years old ETF so far. So why you must have this ETF in your portfolio? These are the following reasons to consider before owning this ETF in your portfolio. First, it has a very high growth potential. The global robotics market was valued at more than $80 billion in 2022, with forecasts suggesting it could more than triple to $280 billion by 2032. Second, the compelling economics. The average cost of an industrial robot declined from $46,000 in 2010 to just $27,000 in 2017 and is forecasted to fall to nearly $7,000 by 2030 as the technology matures for robotics and artificial intelligence. Third, it has an unconstrained approach. Robotics and AI have wide-reaching application, extending far beyond industrial activity. This ETF BOTZ invests accordingly with global exposure across multiple sectors, industries, and countries. Let me show you the industrial breakdown of this ETF. This ETF has huge exposure in semiconductors, almost 24%. Then in industrial machinery, almost 22%. Medical specialties, 15%. Electronic equipment and instruments, almost 12%. Information technology, the presence is very minimal, this is close to 3.5%. Another aspects to look at is like country breakdown. Its investment is almost 55% in United States, 27% in Japan, 11% in Switzerland, 2% in Norway, followed by other countries. So it has a great breakdown for industry and the country. So if you are looking for diversification, then this ETF is great to have in your portfolio. Further, when we look at the financial data of this ETF since inception, the growth is 115%. In the last 5 years, the growth can be seen as 55%. For the past year, the growth is almost 30%. It's a huge growth and it is expected to grow, if not 30%, but at least 20 to 30% looking at the economics and the demand of the sector. Further, when we look at the dividend is not that great. It's just pretty small, 0.1%. And we know the reason why this dividend is so small as 0.18%, because this stock is steered for growth and not a dividend ETF as of now. Probably after like 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, it may become a dividend ETF, but for the next decade, it's going to be a growth ETF to have in the portfolio. Further, when we look at the expense ratio of this ETF, it is not that huge. It is 0.69%. And further, when we look at the strategy, why should we have this ETF in our portfolio? So first is BOTZ aims to provide exposure to the rapidly growing robotics and artificial intelligence industries. Second, it tracks the performance of the indexes of global robotics and artificial intelligence. Third, BOTZ includes companies engaged in the development, production, and integration of robotics and AI technologies. Fourth, this ETF offers diversified exposure across various industries and countries such as healthcare, manufacturing, and consumer goods, which I had already talked and shown about. Let me show you a growth illustration of this portfolio taking $10,000 as an initial capital investment. So here I have considered two sheets, one as a kind of aggressive growth and another which as conservative growth. As an aggressive growth, looking at the past year performance of 30% growth, I have just taken a mid range of 25%. So if I have initial investment of $10,000 with a growth every year of 25%, which is kind of expected for robotics and AI ETF, my $10,000 has become almost $94,000 in 10 years. So it's almost like 10 time growth when we look at the very aggressive approach. When we look at the conservative approach, my $10,000 initial investment with a 15% growth rate is going to become $40,000. So it's almost 4 times in 10 years, even when we consider a conservative growth. So looking at both conservative and aggressive growth, the growth potential is huge for this. When we look at its peers like AIQ or ROBT or UBOT, this ETF is doing comparatively well compared to its competitors. AIQ, definitely it has almost 40% growth potential, and BOTZ has almost 30%. UBOT is almost 37%. Others are far lagging behind like ROBT, IRBO, and WTAI. So when we look at its peers, or you could say competitors, this ETF is doing comparatively well. So it's great to have in the portfolio. I'll be sharing more about other artificial intelligence portfolio in my next video. After looking at the various factors of this ETF, it seems that it is great stock to have in the portfolio. Let me know in the comment section below which is your favorite ETF and if you'd like to more about any specific ETF. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more financial insights. Until next time, happy investing.